out here. Had a bad storm come through here last night. So, yeah, trying to get a walk in before the cold front comes through here. So good, we're seeing some sun. Yeah, we're seeing some sun. Really, really windy. So, gotta get my cardio in. Yeah. How are you all doing this beautiful day out here? Sunny skies, very windy as you can hear. But I didn't get my walking yesterday because it was rainy and real heavy rain, real bad yesterday. So I didn't get a chance to walk. But I say, yeah, I'm getting in today. Getting in today. What's up, Trey? I don't do lives like that. But it's really windy out here. Yeah. Just wanted to come on here for a little bit. I'm down the street from the house, so. Leaves blowing everywhere. Yeah, but I'm just thankful for another day. Blessed for another day. It's Friday today. I'm off from work, so just enjoying my time out. Getting some vitamin D. Yeah. Oh, gracious. Yeah, so just trying to get a little cardio in. And I'm gonna be writing for the rest of the day. Writing a very emotional story, so I'm just trying to get my creative juices flowing for that, get my mind in the space. Yeah. I just want to say hey to everybody, that's all. Gotta be thankful for life, for real, because so much chaos, so much confusion going on out there. People don't know where to turn. They clashing out on each other, you know. There was a recent story that really got to me. That this 40-something-year-old man shot and killed his father in the garage. I think it was like 2 days ago down in Florida somewhere. I think it was Port St. Lucie. Yeah, Port St. Lucie. And it's over a heated argument. It's that people are so short-fused today. That's why I just stay in my lane. Let nobody get to me. Because you can look at somebody wrong today and they'll want to, you know, unalive you and all this stuff over misunderstandings. But you know me, I don't have the time for that. I just truly don't have the time for it. So I just stay in my own lane, do what I do, you know, make my contributions to society the best way I know how, and just keep it pushing. You know, I don't have many friends. But, you know, it's better to be single and in peace than, you know, be around the wrong people. Because, you know, people be in these toxic domestic violence relationships and they wonder why their lives are so messed up because they keep staying in there with that narcissistic individual or toxic family members. And it rubs off on them. Then the narcissistic ways, they become tangled up in it, and they lash out on other people. That's not the way to be. We gotta do what we have to do, you know. We have to cut people off, family members, significant other, grown children. We have grown children. You have to cut them off if they, you know, if they bring toxicity into your life and all of that. My aunt's dealing with that right now. You know, because my aunt, you know, she's battling cancer right now. And her sister, her only sister, my other aunt, just lives like 30 minutes away. But she can't even drive down there to go see her own sister. chemotherapy treatments to even, even pop in and say hello or I love you or anything like that. But she'll drive 2 hours to go visit our niece and all that other stuff. To go visit her niece 2 hours away to go, spend lunchtime with their family and their children and stuff like that, their schools. But it's crazy how be your own family members praying on your downfall. Your own family members. On that. Yep. There's toxic people all around us right now. It's crazy. But you know what? In order to keep your peace and all of that, you gotta get away from them. Live your own life with your own family and just do the best you can out here. Times are rough for everybody, but we shouldn't lash our anger out and pain on everybody else and inflict it on them. Just because we're having bad days and struggling times and all that. There's also the issue with this Dante London guy and Dodash on YouTube. Those two individuals right there, wow. It's like a reality show, Everybody keeps coming back to, their stories. Dodash claiming that she's sleeping in her car and all that stuff. And then Dante London on his side, he up there deleting videos of his new woman. And the people trying to, it's crazy out here. It's crazy. Yeah, and then he did this apology, tried to do this apology video, talking about, I think I shouldn't have put my relationship out there for everybody to see. I should have kept it private. No, you did that to yourself. You did that to your dang own self. Did that to nobody but yourself. You have all these sob stories. It doesn't work like that. Thanks, Trey. Thank you so much. Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't work like that. You can't be apologetic and be toxic to the woman who tried to help you out, tried to support you, and all that stuff. Loved the Lord, was there, had your back. Then you can go there and cheat on her, treat her like trash. She's stuck by your side through all that mess, all that content. You don't want to do everything for content. People out here, they don't know what they have until it's gone. You know what? They try to find love in others and everything, but you know what? You gotta love yourself. The person who looks back at that mirror every day, that's the person who you have to impress every single day, every single second. Forget what these other people talking about. You gotta love yourself at the end of the day. You really, truly do. Yep. Got my heart broken almost 2 years ago. That heartbreak shattered me so bad. Because this guy was professing that he loved the Lord. And, well, he was one of those kind of guys, right? With all these Christian attire. Talking about hallelujah here, hallelujah there. Talking about he goes to church and all that stuff. And then, I had to study him. I had to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. Yeah, he was acting single. And you know how people act single. And they stare at you and they give you these eye-locking stares like they interested. I almost thought he was interested. I truly did. But then, you know what? Something told me, yeah, this is gonna be the third one. Yeah, I had to do it. I didn't want to do that, but I had to, in order to protect my body and protect my heart, I had to vet him out. And I found my answer every single time. So he was acting single, and I found out he was taken the whole entire time. So wait, yeah, he had a girlfriend. So yeah, I could have got myself in a world of trouble if I hadn't have done that. Yep. Life teaches you a lot of lessons. Yep. But it's good to study people before you get yourself in the world of trouble. Yeah. This was the third guy who did that to me. All three of the guys acted like they were single, and I scoped all three of them out, and they were all taken the whole entire time. All of them one of them was actually married. The other guy, the second one, he was taken, but he was acting like he was single. And then this third one cut so dang on deep because it just, I said I couldn't win anywhere. So I said, yeah, these men these days, not all men. I'm not saying it's not all men, but it really shattered my heart to a million pieces. It was like a deep wound. It's gonna take the time to heal. Because, I broke down. I was breaking down crying. I was saying, oh goodness, please don't let this happen to me again. Please don't. It happened again. And I said, yeah, it's time for me to focus on my own self, focus on my life, focus on my writing again, get my pain and frustration out that way. And that's what I did. That's why I'm still single today. So, no, I'm 36, by the way. So, never been with a soul on this planet. So, because, I can't help it that I scope people out. I just can't help it that I do that. And that's what I think. I think everybody should do that. Before getting into a relationship with someone, you have to do that. You have to study people. You have to know who you're getting into a relationship with. Because notice the red flags. Notice them before you lay down with that person. Because when you lay down with that person, you're mixing spirits with them. People don't get that. You're mixing spirits with that individual. Okay? You're mixing your bodily fluids with that person. You're cheating, sleeping around with any and everybody. That's a risk in and of itself. Especially in these days and times, you truly have to do that because diseases are rampant out here. You got a lot of people out here pregnant, don't know where they're going to turn. Yeah, it's a mess out here. That's why I'm protecting my body. It's the best way I know how. Protecting mine. I don't play that. Enough with that. I just wanted to come on here and just y'all matter. You matter. Everyone else matters. Out here. Your life is worth living. 2 years ago, I didn't think life was worth living because my heart was shattered so many times and rejections after rejections, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I was also dealing with grief at the time too, because at the time I lost my mom back in 2021, December 2021. I was right next to her when she took her last breath. So I know, so my heart just couldn't take it anymore. That was the end all be all. I just couldn't do it. So that's the reason why I opted out of dating, I opted out of all of that, because I just don't want to do that anymore. Yeah, I don't like my feelings played with. I don't like that. So, yeah. Focus on myself and my well-being. That's the best way to be. Single and in my peace, wherever, whenever. Don't have to answer to anybody. But yeah, I just did a little ramble, Just wanted to chat with you all today. It's a beautiful day out here. Get a walk in. Yep. Love taking walks, They're really good for the mind, body, and soul. Very peaceful. Yep. why I talk to you all. Like I said, I don't do many lives like that. I'm gonna start doing some lives, but I'm just trying to, work my way on here. Just work my way on here. You know, my voice. I've never liked my voice at all, but I'm growing to embrace it. The raspy hoarseness of my voice, growing to love it. Yep. I was a preemie. I was a pound at birth, so gotta be thankful for that. 36 now, going to 37 in like the spring, around June. So, yep. Gotta be blessed to still be here. Yep. But I love you all. You all have a great, great rest of your Friday and weekend. And I will talk to you all soon. It was great talking to you all today about some stuff I need to get off my chest. But I do have some more topics coming up. And I want people to, if you're afraid to branch out, making the YouTube videos, all you have to do is try. All you have to do is try. You say, oh, I don't like my appearance. I don't like my voice like me. I don't like any of that. I think nobody's going to watch me. But you have to take a chance. If you don't do it, then you'll never know. You got to take that leap of faith. You got to take that leap of faith out there. So I'm doing it, and you can do it too. Like I'm writing a story of mine. This very emotional story is a novel, but I'm at I'm about to start the 7th chapter of it. And it's just a very emotionally heavy story. Very intense story. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of it about it. Talk to y'all about it for real. And, my main character in my story, she was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. And her life was revolved around a very strict Catholic household upbringing. She was the only child. And her family just really just made her feel like she was nothing. Yeah. So they made her feel like, being an only child. See, I'm not an only child, but I know people who are an only child. And they just feel like they just so lonely, They won't have that sibling, the other sibling to play with, the other sibling to, have fun with, say opinions about, everything like that, everything. But as she grew older, her parents just treated her like trash. They dictated what she wore, what she listened to, what kind of people she was hanging around, and all of that. Very religious household. And I'm not going to give you all a little snippet. I'm not giving you all the whole entire thing. But then once she got into her teenage years, she wanted out of that. She wanted out of that environment. So there was a couple across the street who helped her out secretly. They secretly helped her out. Gave her the help with an escape plan to escape her, controlling parents and everything like that. So they raised money up for her, help her get to the United States here, where she applied for the University Human Resources Program, and she got accepted into it. And from that point on, she felt like the world was at her footsteps. She felt great. She was escaping life, like a caged-in bird in her house. And as soon as she started her college years, she was feeling great. Excelled at the assignment, excelled great. Yep, but once she got into there was another crazy story that happened. So once she got into her, I think it was junior year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, junior year. She went to this fraternity party with some dorm mates, some of her roommates, and they went to another university. And this is crazy. They went to another university at this fraternity party. You know, everybody was having fun, good times. You know, the fraternity parties, if you've been in college, those fraternity parties and stuff be jumping and everything like that. But yeah, they got invited to a fraternity house party and everybody was having a good time, drinking, doing this, doing that. And then, oh my gosh, this guy named Jonathan, oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, his name is Jonathan, by the way. So he was this charming guy. Maya was in the kitchen. Maya's my main character, by the way. She was in the main kitchen. You know, her other roommates, they went and did their own thing, dancing and whatnot. So she was in the kitchen, drinking a little bit. I don't know whatever. It was just crazy. Then all of a sudden, this guy named Jonathan came up to her, you know, enticed her, seduced her, you know, and stuff like that. Charming guy. Yep. And then, oh gosh, the unthinkable happened. You already know. I'm not going to tell you all of that, but yeah, you have pretty much an idea of where that's going to head to. But yeah, that was correct. Yeah. I read back over my other draft and I said, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I said, wait a minute, I wrote this? Wait, what is this? Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, a lot of my stories, like I said, yeah, I just gave you guys a little snippet. Okay, and then you have to wait for the rest of it because it gets crazier and crazier from there. So that's the kind of story I'm writing right now. But yeah, it is very windy out here. So it is very, very windy out here. So we got a cold front coming through, and we had some storms last night, overnight. So some strong thunderstorms came through here last night. And yeah, as you can see, that's why it's so sunny out here. But the wind gusts are picking up. And yeah, we have a sharp cold front about to come through here. So as of right now, it's in like the 50s, 60s right now. But with this wind, it's going to really drop around 6 or 7 p.m. tonight. It's going to go down into the 40s and then the 30s. So we have a really good sized cold front coming through here. So that's why I'm taking my walks now. So before that cold front comes through here, so I don't have to deal with it. Yep. It is really windy out here. Yes, it is. Really windy. Yeah, but as of right now, yeah, this is like I said, it's in the 50s and 60s right now, but it's rapidly going to drop once the hours go on because, yeah, my goodness, this weather is up and down temperatures. That's the reason why everybody's so cold. Everybody's so, you know, they be getting everybody's so sick. Everybody's so sick because it's this weather out here. Yeah, it'd be 60s, 50s one day, then the next day it'd be dang on in the 20s with snow. So, yeah, you don't know what to wear. You got people out here wearing shorts right now, short sleeves. And tomorrow, everybody's going to be wearing coats and hats. So that's the reason why we're so messed up today. So, yeah, people out here enjoying their exercise, walking. Yeah, but I just wanted to get my take on some stuff. Yeah. But I'm getting more comfortable when, you know, talking more. I used to be a very shy person. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I used to be to myself all the time. And, yeah, life is just a mess. Yeah, Houston, I need my mosquito. Yeah, I know, right? I have never been to Houston before. I've never been down there. You know, I've been through Dallas. I've been through other parts of the state, Arlington, but it was only like a few days. But I've never been down to Austin or San Antonio or Houston. Those are 3 cities I would really like to visit in the future. There's some beautiful cities. Yeah, really, yeah. Yeah, Dallas, the Metroplex. Yeah, the Metroplex is just a different, I don't know what it is. And you can see the difference in the different Texas cities, like the Metroplex with Dallas, Fort Worth. Then you go down 35, you hit Austin, Waco, then San Antonio. Then I-10, you hit thing on Houston and Beaumont and those other cities. You know, Texas is just, man, Texas is like a whole world, like California is. It's a whole world in and of themselves, you know? Everybody moving to those, well, everybody's moving to Texas. A lot of people moving to Texas, especially from California. My sister and her husband, they're over there in California right now, in the San Diego area. And they're doing like RV camping and stuff like that over there with 3 small kids at that, which is crazy. I don't see how they do that, especially in today's world. I don't see how they do that. But yeah, they're over there doing their RV camping and going to different campsites. Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh, by the way. So I've been here for like 7, 8 years almost. Yep. So, yeah, we all used to live in the South. We used to live in Alabama. I grew up there. So, I was originally born in Maryland, but Baltimore, so I was originally born there. But my family moved down to Alabama in the in the early 90s when I was just a toddler. So I was around 3 years old when they moved from Maryland to Alabama down there, because my aunt, her husband at the time, was in the military, and he was stationed down in Huntsville first, and that's where I spent the majority of my childhood. Yeah, there. So we lived there from the early 90s to 2005. I remember it vividly. We moved there. Yeah, so we lived there for that period of time. Yeah, really Steelers. Yes. Red, black, and yellow, of course. Yep. But yeah, I lived there a majority of my life till I was like, what is it, 20, late 20s. And then I lived in Huntsville first. Then we moved to Tuscaloosa for a few years. I spent a good 10 years there. And then after that, I moved to Pittsburgh here. Yep. So, very different environment, very different atmosphere, different from the South. But I'm glad to have moved to different places, because you get to feel the culture. The culture shock, when you first get into that place, new place, the culture shock of everything. Yep. So it taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot about branching out and getting to know people. I'm trying to get out of my shell of being shy all the time. Yep. But I really, truly want to thank all of you for taking the time out to view my live day. And if you haven't, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll return the favor to you. Us small creators, I don't think of myself as a creator, but I'm just trying something new. I've been on this live for like almost 30 minutes, so that's the longest I've been on a live before I've done anything. But I'm just trying to grow, I'm just trying to learn, I'm just trying to live life to the fullest. I love you all. Thank you so much. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And I love you all. You all have a great one. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.